Please rise. Who presents this woman to be united in marriage to this man?
I do.
Arm in arm.
I'm taking
Love you guys.
You may be seated.
I'll grab this one.
If anyone objects to the union of this couple, speak now or forever hold your peace. Before we begin, Sam and Stephanie would like to pause for a moment to remember those who can't be present here today and those who are no longer with us, especially Stephanie's dad, Nick Chapman, and Sam's grandfather, Gib Ruggles. We gather as a community of family and friends and feel ripples of excitement and tremors of joy as we celebrate the marriage of Sam and Stephanie. God has created a world of harmony, soaring birds, towering trees, brisk wind, animals of all kinds, each unique, each in relationship and harmony with the others. God's first gift was breathing life into humans and turning us toward each other to live in equality and unity. Sam and Stephanie have come here to affirm their love for each other and enter into this sacred union. Marriage is a gift. Marriage is an opportunity for love to be learned. Marriage is a journey in which we as the travelers are faced with many choices and responsible for these choices. Marriage is a call to servanthood. Marriage is a call to friendship. Marriage is a call to suffering. Marriage is not an event but a way of life. Marriage involves intimacy in all areas for it to be fulfilling. Today, Sam and Stephanie, you come together, bring all of you to this marriage, all of your wonderful parts, all of your hurts and pains. You especially bring today all of your hopes and dreams for this marriage. You both have tremendous faith in each other as you trust your future to the other's care. You have excellent reasons for believing you belong together, but you have no guarantees. Instead, you stand together about to accept on faith the challenge of creating the future together. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for. You marry in faith that God has called you to live as one. You promise to be faithful to one another in big things as well as small. Your constant faith in each other will give form and substance to beautiful hopes you have for your future. Faith is the conviction of things not seen. Unless you're an unusual couple, at times your marriage won't look anything like the vision you celebrate today. You may not feel much evidence of the love you now feel so keenly. At such a time, remember this moment. Remember the hopes and dreams that have been entrusted to your care. Marriage begins with a leap of faith that says, I will, before an unknown and unknowable future. Marriage is about being full of faith or faithful to one another. Faithfulness respects each other's ideas and feelings, keeps each other's secrets, guards each other's dignity, and honors each other in public and in private. Faithfulness is built from 10,000 minute acts of trust and trustworthiness. In such faith, you'll find the fulfillment of all the hopes and dreams you have today. May God bless you both. Amen. Sam and Stephanie, have you come here freely without reservation to join together lawfully in marriage? If so, say, I have. Before God and family and friends, ask you to affirm your vows to each other as you enter into this covenant of marriage and begin to share all the joys of this new relationship, whatever the future may hold.
There's the cue. Stephanie, when I first met you five long months ago, I already knew you. Not that this lifetime, but the past lives we spent together, married already. Our souls are connected from many past lives. It just took us a little bit longer this lifetime. I have no other explanation than this. When our eyes locked the first time that night, many thoughts ran through my mind, but one of those thoughts was confusion. How do I love this girl? I don't even know her. But our souls do. It's crazy, right? Then you squeezed my arm and eeked and screeched, eek! I love hockey too! Then I remembered we were married already. Yep. She was my shield maiden who struck down any evildoer who dared hurt me. You were my princess who rescued me from being a street rat. And I told you, I can show you the world. You were my queen who I faithfully stood by. You were also my best friend at the beginning when God created you from my rib. I've always been with you from the beginning to the end. And you're my love for eternity. You are my church. I will love you this life and the next.
Mine are on my phone. I don't know. All right. Sam. I'm gonna cry. I don't know if I can do this. Okay. I really can't do this right now. All right, Sam. Your name means because God answered. I had prayed for my soul and my truest love. I would cry to God asking Him to place me in the path for us to meet. And after a few failed attempts, my hopes of true love were beginning to diminish. But I held firm to the promises of God that He would bless me with a man that I would be fully satisfied with. After our first date at church and pizza, I knew my soul had found something different. Something it had never felt before. That night we had tea and talked for hours in my living room about God, our trials and triumphs, dreams and random ideas. I sat there staring at you knowing we would become one flesh one day. Although we played it cool for about 2 weeks, I never forget the moment we told each other we loved each other on my couch. Other than when I'm having a deep moment with my Father in heaven, I had never cried while telling somebody that I loved them. That is because I never had experienced this deep of love with another human, only moments with God. The only way I can explain it is that it is heavenly. Only love like this can exist in heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Having you in my life is like having a taste of heaven every day. You are my home away from home. You and I, we're different. We're not from this world, but rather placed here just for the fruit of the Spirit. Or how we like to say, show them how it's done. Show them that it's real. So I pray that we always seek God for true love, true pure love, so that we can fill one another and overflow onto those around us. That we cling to the peace that surpasses all understanding, for His thoughts are higher than ours. Let us gather our joy from the Lord so that we can gain strength and overcome the principalities of this world. May we spread kindness to each other and humility by putting the other's needs before our own. I pray we always cling to what is good and pure, for these things will keep our marriage strong and they will be pleasing to our Father in heaven. And may we always stay faithful and patient to God and to one another, even in times of long suffering. Sam, I know that together we were able to hold firm to this, for God had formed me from your rib. We were created to be together, to stand firm together, to live life with one another, and to love more deeply than this world has ever seen, and to be together in love for all of eternity. So I promise to be your person, your partner. I promise to be there for you during trials and rejoice with you during triumphs. I promise to love and take care of you in sickness or in health. I promise to stay humble with you whether we are rich or super poor. I promise to put God first in my life so that He can equip me to be the best wife He has called me to be for you. I know that it will not always be easy at times, but I promise to always talk to you about everything. Everything. I will always love you. You are mine and I am yours. I love you with everything I am. I promise I will always honor this covenant we are making with our Father in heaven, and in front of our loved ones in heaven, and in front of our friends and family here today. May God bless us this day with His favor to have a beautiful, flourishing marriage and life together.
Made it.
I did.
Sam, do you take Stephanie to be your wedded wife, to live together in marriage? Do you promise to love her, comfort her, honor and keep her, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and health, and forsaking all others, be faithful only to her for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
And Stephanie, do you take Sam to be your wedded husband, to live together in marriage? Do you promise to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and health, and forsaking all others, be faithful only to him for as long as you both shall live? Now, Sam, do you take Elias and Caius to care for, encourage, and love as your own for as long as you shall live?
I do.
These rings are an outward and visible sign of invisible truth which binds two hearts in one. As such, they're the symbols of the enduring and unending quality of the love which is now expressed between Sam and Stephanie. Sam, repeat after me. Stephanie,
Stephanie,
with this ring, I thee wed.
I thee wed.
Stephanie, repeat after me. Sam, with this ring, I thee wed.
I thee wed.
These are the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you, that are holding yours on your wedding day, as you promise to love each other today, tomorrow, and forever. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other. These are the hands that will hold you when fear or grief fills your mind. These are the hands that will countless times wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow, tears of joy. These are the hands that will tenderly hold your children. These are the hands that will help you to hold your family as one. These are the hands that will give you strength when you need it. And lastly, these are the hands that even when wrinkled and aged will still be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. A part of the Christian heritage is the taking of the bread and cup, as Christ did at the Last Supper, by coming to the table of God and sharing the very spiritually significant experience of communion. Sam and Stephanie have chosen to take communion after they say their vows to acknowledge the place that their Christianity plays in the relationship and the role that faith will play in helping them to be faithful to the vows they've recited. As the Bible tells us, Christ gathered his disciples the evening before his taking to the cross and shared a meal. This meal is different than the others before it, in that Christ asked that they make special note of the occasion. Christ, knowing of his fate, wanted to ensure that each disciple understood that his presence was not fleeting, that Christ was to remain with them always in their hearts, souls, and minds, so that would not forget the unity of spirit. He asked that they take the bread and cup together in a spirit of one. Just hold it. After I say so, you'll do it to each other. Even as you eat this bread, do so remembering me. And they ate the bread. Christ said, even as you drink this cup, do so remembering me. And they took the cup. The taking of a meal together, especially when remembering the life and sacrifice of Christ, ensures that we do not forget that we are all one body, one blood, one spirit, and that the breaking of bread and sharing of a cup is more than nourishment or the quenching of thirst, but the sharing of ourselves. Today, Sam and Stephanie have chosen to braid these 3 strands together into a single cord. Each strand has a significant meaning. The gold strand represents God, His majesty. The red strand represents Sam and his life. And the white strand represents Stephanie and her life. In braiding these 3 strands together, Sam and Stephanie have demonstrated that their marriage is more than a joining of 2 lives together. It is a unity with God as well. They've chosen to allow God to be the center of their marriage, woven into every aspect of it. As Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 reads, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their work. If one falls down, his friend can help him up. But pity the man who falls and has no one to help him up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. 1 Corinthians 13:4-8 says, "Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends." Please join me for a prayer of blessing over their marriage. God in heaven, you ordained marriage for your children and you gave us love. We present to you Sam and Stephanie who've come this day to be married. May the covenant of love they may be blessed with true devotion and spiritual commitment. We thank you for giving them strength and courage to keep their vows. Thank you for helping them to create for their family a peaceful, stable home of love as a foundation on which they can build their lives. When selfishness shows itself, grant generosity. When mistrust is a temptation, give moral strength. When there's misunderstanding, give patience and gentleness. When suffering becomes a part of their lives, give them a strong faith and abiding love. Amen. Sam and Stephanie, in the future, happy occasions will come as surely as the morning. Difficult times will come as surely as the night. To say the words love and compassion is easy, but to accept that love and compassion are built upon patience and perseverance is not easy. Sam and Stephanie, as much as you've declared your willingness to enter the state of marriage with each other, declare the same in the company of God and these witnesses. By the virtue of the authority vested in me as ordained minister and by the state of Florida, I pronounce you husband and wife, united in the pure and holy bonds of wedlock. What God has joined, let no one separate. Go forth in this life as husband and wife with the blessing of God. Be loving, patient, and kind, and above all, forgive one another as God has forgiven you. It's my pleasure to introduce to you all for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Collins. Sam